All right, so we are here with my main man from Australia, a friend of mine, a client, Morgan Nelson, speaker, trainer, and lifestyle coach and entrepreneur. Morgan is doing great things, but Morgan, tell them a little bit about yourself and the reason or what you were looking for before working with my agency.
Well, yeah. Well, the main thing I was looking for was kind of more engagement in my social media, because Instagram was so hard to kind of like, it's the old way of growing it, the old way of engaging. It's just can't do it anymore. And so I was wanting to find a way that I could grow organically without using bots and shit like that. And I wanted more engagement, and I wanted to be able to position myself as an authority more. And because I know that most people look at Instagram and they judge a book by its cover straight away. And especially if you're in some sort of business, like you're in coaching or you're speaking and things like what I'm doing, it sucks, but it's just the way the world is now. People are going to come to your Instagram and be like, should I listen to this person? Should I not? And if they've got like 2,000 followers, they're like, well, this person doesn't have much influence, So there were things that I was always thinking about.
You know, you're so right, because in this space, everyone's a coach, everyone's an expert, everyone's a 17-figure earner, right?
But especially on Clubhouse.
Exactly. But so basically what we did for you is we not only gave you a plan for your social media, we put you in some press. After we got you that result, right? What was sort of the initial feedback from people who saw you in the press, and what was sort of the result sort of a couple of weeks or a couple of months after that press was out?
Well, the biggest thing was, so I've got a podcast, right? So my main thing is I've been putting out content for a while now, and I have my podcast. And when I created the podcast, that allowed me to create my own authority. And people started to see like, oh my God, this guy has got a podcast. It's crazy. And then what I noticed is once I was able to put that into the press and get, published in publications, things like that, people can actually find me on Google. So for people to find me, like if they search my name, it's easier for them to find me now because it's coming up in articles and stuff. But the thing is, it's just positioning. And this day and age, it's like, unfortunately, this is the world we're living in, that there could be two people and one person has way better content, they're way better at what they actually do, but their marketing is crap and they're not positioned well. But the other person is positioned so much better as an authority, as the expert, but their content's actually shit. That's the world we're living in. So I know that my content, what I actually do, is fantastic. And what I was missing was being able to show that to people and be able to position myself in a way where they could trust me as the authority.
Right. And now that you have that, now when people see you, they see you with instant credibility, instant authority. And do you find the conversations are maybe they don't really question you enough because they go, oh, Morgan's already in the press, like he's already great?
Yeah, that they kind of see it as that. As soon as you put in the press, the people are kind of like what the hell, that they do see it as like that you're actually kind of doing shit, you're making things happen, which is, there's many people out there that just want to get in the press to try and look good. So if there's anyone out there that actually has a good business, they have a good model and they're wanting to actually help people make an impact, then getting in the press is something that is pretty freaking important, because it just allows you to actually get in front of the people and have them trust you. It's the way you need to be trusted in order to deliver them the content and the value that you need to give them.
Well, and speaking of that, because you said that you invested in yourself to get in the press, to understand the power of advertising. There are people listening who are on the fence right now going, you know what, man, why do I need to spend money on PR? Like I want to get $2 back from this investment. Can you tell everybody that PR, it's not $1 in, $2 back? Like talk to them about the ROI from value and trust and authenticity and authority, especially.
Yeah, so many people, because like I have a business where I coach people how to create a podcast, right? And one of my main thing is like I was able to make my $90K in my first 12 months of my podcast, right, by monetizing it. So I teach people how they can build a podcast, and the first thing people always ask me, they're like, how fast can I monetize it? How do you do it? And I'm like, you're thinking of the wrong thing. You need to think of the long game. And if you think of the long game in this, then you need to think of the long game as if you put in all the value now, and if you create what you need to create now.
Keep it real, man. We're here late. You're at the airport with the cleaners here, man. This is real. Keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want me to wait for this person? But the thing is,
we even get old mate here, and he knows what's up right here. Okay, I'm keeping this in the testimonial. This is real.
Yeah, I love it. Because I'm literally like at a fucking airport right now. I'm going to the islands.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So I want people to understand is that when people come on board and they want to build and monetize their podcast with me, and they ask me that, like, how can I monetize it? How fast can I make money? I'm like, you're asking the wrong question. You need to focus on how can you use this as a way to position yourself as the expert for long-term credibility,
Right.
and position yourself over a long term so people trust you again and again and again and again. And everything happens on the back end. So it's the same with the PR. It's the same with this kind of stuff. Is when you actually position yourself as a way and put yourself like this, you're not going to get just because you got an article, someone's going to message you and say, hey, take all my money now, give it to me. But it allows you to have that more credibility.
Right.
It positions you in a way, it elevates you from the rest. And from there, things happen on the back end. And you can't really measure it. So it's not like as soon as I got in the press, I signed clients. That's not what it is. And if people are looking for that, then that's the wrong way you should be looking at business. This is the position yourself as the expert, position yourself as the influential person that you want to be to deliver the stuff that you actually have. And I'm hoping that you actually do have something of value you can give people. So by using this as a way to position yourself, it's going to help you tenfold in the long term.
Well, yeah, and
it's a game. It's a marathon. This
right. And the one thing I like about you, Morgan, if I Google you, right, you immediately are on front page of Google. Like, what is the ROI on someone being able to find you and trust you straight away? Could be worth millions, right?
You can't measure it. You can't measure the lifetime value of even a lead, let alone a client.
Or trust, right?
Trust.
You told me when we first worked together, there's a lot of guys in the game. I'm not the first guy that's tried to hit you up, from all different countries, of all different looks and colors and sizes and, expected wealth. Why have you continue working with me other than us being Australian?
Well, you're Australian. No, it's just easy, man. Like when I message you, you get back to me straight away. You don't have team. You don't have fucking bots messaging me. You don't slide in people's DMs with bots and all these like fake bullshit. So I think you lead a lot more with like relationship and what we can actually do. And none of it's like pushy in sales. And it's just literally like, hey, what do you want? This is what I got. Does this make sense to you? And if it does, you can do this, or that. What do you want to do? Right. And it's just been everything we do together. Nothing's been like I felt sold into shit, or it's just like, hey, this is what I got. What do you want? And I was like, I kind of want this one, a little bit less this one, a little bit. And it's just easy to work. And I just feel like we just work together easy.
I love it, man. Well, Morgan, thank you so much. Where can people find more about you? Because people want to know if you're an actor or if you're just a good-looking guy at the airport. How can they find you? You don't know. People trust. I don't know, man. These actors these days are getting better. Where can they find you?
Yeah, I know, right? Look, you can find me on Instagram at Morgan T. Nelson, or my podcast is Dream Out Loud. You can find it on any platform, iTunes, Spotify, and all that shit. They're the two main places I hang out. So go and find us there and see if I'm an actor or not. Slide in my DMs if you want.
Well, dude, I'm going to let you go on the flight. I'm going to go help this guy clean because I'm here enough at the office. But I appreciate your time. And guys, go follow Morgan, and he's a real deal. And he'll be continuing using his brand and getting in the press and building his online presence.
Love it. Appreciate you, Jay.